Alright, you guys, welcome back to another video. Just pumping them out right now, feeling pretty good. Today we're going to be talking about BLR, which stands for Blaine's Last Resort, if you didn't know that. Now, actually, I should take a side note. One of the awkward things about this deck nowadays is that we actually cut the BLR from the deck. We built it around the idea of like, oh man, there's this cool card called Blaine's Last Resort. If it's the last card in your hand, you can draw a Tail 5. How cool is that? Like, we can do cool plays with it. And that's what it was built around, but then it became this, like, no energy attacking deck. Just all of the attackers that attack for free in one big, nice, cool deck. So BLR actually got dropped, but the name stuck. So if you wanted a more accurate name for it, I don't know, free attackers, I guess. I don't know, that's just like a dumb name for it. You also could call it like U150 and Friends, or Disarmed even. You could just call it by a Disarmed, Assault Boom, I don't know, something like one of the attack names. But anyways, it's going to be playing around, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 cards that attack for free, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's actually it. Yeah, 4 Pokemon that all have free attacks. There actually was a 5th one, but I'll explain the course of this deck. Now, I actually really enjoy this deck. It's one of my favorite decks to play. It's a lot of fun. However, it's just not very good. Now, one of the reasons that it's not very good is because it really relies on these 2 U150s, especially the U150 from Steam Siege, to deal a lot of its damage. You're going to go into the Steam Siege, you're going to break Evolve, you're going to do 100 damage for free. That gets shut off by Hex and Goop. So you have to go into stuff like Alone and Eradicate and Slowking. Now, the 2 conditions on here are not super hard to hit, but they are a thing. So Alone and Eradicate doesn't actually have to have a condition, it just needs a tool on it to deal the extra 50 damage, but that 60 damage isn't really a lot. Yeah, Muscle Band hits to that magical 80, where you can knock out Claydol and Porygon in one shot, like, which is good and all, but you need that tool on there to deal the extra damage. So Enhanced Friend, not super reliable. And then Disarmed, while it does do 110 damage, you do need to get 0 cards into your hand, which leaves you open for them like Lysandering or Claydol. So, like, you better have something good on the field, or a way to draw cards from your prizes or something, or you're going to get down to 0, they're going to kill your Claydol, and you're just screwed from there on. So, that's one of the biggest downsides of the deck. The other downside of the deck is damage output, but we kind of solved that with some things. So now those are the downsides. The upsides is that this deck hits fast. If you're not getting a turn 2 knockout with this deck, you're just not playing it right. This deck almost always gets a turn 2 knockout just because of how just stupid fast it is, and it's silly easy to set up these cute little knockouts with Assault Boom or Enhanced Fang or even Disarmed or that sort of thing. So that's one of the biggest things of it. And then it did struggle with damage output, but we decided to play the supplement of the EVs to cover a lot of types. Right now you have Fire, Lightning, Water, Psychic, Dark, and Grass coverings. I think the only thing you miss are what? Fighting and Metal, right? Fighting, Metal, and Colorless. And technically Fairy too, if you're playing against Noivern. But that's still a good complement of types to be covering, especially since you'll be hitting for free and hitting really hard and really fast. So basically the idea is to get ahead and stay ahead with this deck. You can never really hex ever. Like if you playing a cool... If you play Hex, you're going to have to be attacking with Disarmed or Enhanced Things, and you kind of have to set yourself up. So that's one of the big downsides of it, is Hex is not always an out to be played, I suppose. But other than that, yeah, it's a lot of fun. I highly recommend playing it. Oricorio can attack for free too, by the way, if... Oh, we took it out. Whoops. We used to have D-Valley in here, but now we don't. Oricorio is still in every deck, though. You still 100% play it. But yeah, Regice is in here not only to get other opposing Spiritombs out of the active, but to like discard 2 cards out of your hand whenever you kind of want to. You have the Unknowns to draw cards. Everything else is either staple or, a BLL attacking card. Oh, excuse me. If you look over here, there are some cute cards that you normally don't see. Stuff like Desert Shaman and Judge aren't super common, but both of these require you to have same amount of cards in hand or 4 cards in hand, so those are both super awesome in this deck. It's the same reason you have a red card in here. If you wanted another red card effect, you could use Imposter Professor Oak. That's the same sort of thing. It's where you discard a card and they have to shuffle, so it's red card just with a discard. We are playing Pokemon Catcher. It's just like a card you can always drop. Same with Plus Power. Maintenance is actually super crazy good in this deck. You're playing Dual Ball and Timer Ball just as ways to either plus or minus your hand size. You can do cool things with that. Outside of that, Headringer is in here for Assault Boom. If they don't have a tool, Assault Boom can do 120 damage if it's an EX. Generally, probably one-shotting something because you're going to be supplemented by weakness, hopefully. And then you still play one basic Psychic. Like, I know you want to play all these specials. Like, you still want to play energies so you can retreat your Spiritomb if you need to. The Quick is generally used for that. Like, you can use Quick to get it out of the active. But you're still playing a full complement of this. Scramble energy is going to help you with Unarmed a lot of the times. But you play one basic Psychic because we are playing Rosie's Research still. So it's super good to Rosie's Research for one Psychic and the Oricorio. And the reason that it's Psychic over any other type is because Drift to Shore is actually a really good attack on Slowking. So if you needed to use that, you totally could. Yeah, what else about BLR that I can say? Yeah, I would say that it's a it's a middling sort of deck. It's not super good, not super bad. It's very middle ground because it is aggressive, but it has glaring weaknesses. But I can tell you it's one of the more fun decks to play. If you're looking at just playing U150 for fun and just having a grand old time of it, this deck is a great way to challenge your skill as a player, to try to get your hand size where you need it to be, as well as play around your opponent being annoying with like Hex and that sort of thing. So yeah, if you have any other questions, please let us know. If not, that was BLR. Have a great rest of your day.